What's going on, Niner fam? It is Peter Lucas. This is the Niner Fanatic Podcast. It's late. It's late. I hope everybody's still awake to celebrate this 49er victory. 49ers back at 500. They defeat the Seahawks in Seattle 36-24. Man, we needed this victory. But before we get into it, we got to hit the music.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'd like to know.
are you ready for start time?
And once again, it is Peter Lucas. This is the Niner Fanatic Podcast. Man, make sure you give the video a like. Make sure that you give it a subscribe. Make sure that you hit the bell so you get the notifications for when we go live. But 49ers, once again, get the victory. 36-24. We needed this one. And the team played like we needed it. There was quite a bit we saw a lot of the same in the first half. I'll be honest with you. They were struggling in the red zone again. But there was one constant for this game, and it was really Kyle stuck to the run game. That's really what it came down to. I'm interested to I haven't even looked at the box score yet, but it felt to me like this team Kyle just did not abandon the run, and that was the key. I know. So Brock only threw the ball 28 times. They ran the ball 33 times. That was with four Brock Purdy carries. So, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people got carries in it today. Isaac Guerrero with, just a clincher. We heard a lot from a lot of people about that. This guy wasn't ready. It was going to take him time to understand this wide zone system, and at times you see it. It's growing pains. He's a rookie, but what you can't replace is athletic ability and speed. And he hit the hole today and ran the ball for 76 yards. And honestly, he would have had a touchdown if he doesn't do the smart thing and slide just to make the clock, to burn away the clock. So Isaac Guerrero, tremendous job. Brock Purdy, 18 to 28, 255 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was really good in this game. There was a couple of throws that he just missed. And I'm sure that we're going to see some things on the All-22 that show that he missed a couple of throws. But for the most part, Purdy was good. And once again, the offensive line let him down multiple times, and he just made something out of nothing. Jake Brendel, I don't know what is going on with Jake Brendel, but he had a key block on that Isaac Guerrero run, so I'm not too mad, but Purdy has got to be really frustrated with what his offensive line has given him. Aaron Banks had cramps the whole game, so him and Brendel were just struggling through the whole game. And look, it was a short week. And that's always rough. The 49ers kept losing players throughout this game. And the defense, I didn't know if they were going to make it through the game with the people that they had. Guys just kept falling. Malik Mustafa turned an ankle. Who else? Malik Mustafa turned an ankle. They lost somebody else. Shavarius Ward didn't play, which meant that they were out there with the guy that everybody was really worried about all season and just kept dogging on, in Isaac Yiadom. He actually had a pretty decent day today. He still has some mental mistake issues that have got to be addressed by him. But for the most part, he played pretty solid. Renardo Green, the rookie, I didn't you know another rookie because Malik Mustafa got a pick today. He made a key play. He made a couple of tackles that really nice tackles. Ronaldo Green played really good coverage and had a pick himself today. It's these rookies this year. This might be one of the better rookie classes that the 49ers have gotten. That three rookies in this game made key plays to get the 49ers this victory. They needed all three rookies. And I mean, and that's not even mentioning Pooney. So it's probably four. But that's how deep the 49ers are in the weeds with these injuries. It's rough, guys. Like kudos to the defense. Kudos to the defense for holding up when they had to hold up because they're down a lot of guys. And Devondre Campbell, ugh, I'm sure I'm going to look at the all 22. It's going to be bad. I'm sure it's going to be bad. He's just slow. He can't get I don't know what they were thinking because he does not play linebacker the way that the 49ers are used to guys playing linebacker. And that's all I can say about it. But just a couple of stats. The let's see. So Isaac Rendo, 10 carries, 99 yards. Jordan and it can't be stated enough. Isaac Rendo looked good. Yes, did he pick the right hole every single time? No, but the athleticism showed up on the tape, and the the ability to run through a couple like break a tackle or two showed up on the tape. It's he's gonna be solid as long as he can stay healthy. He'll be good. I think he's gonna be good in a year or two. But he gave us exactly what we were looking for because what we did haven't had, even with CMC on the field, we don't have a burner at running back that can get some daylight and be gone. He would have been gone on that run. And honestly, Jordan it showed because Jordan Mason had a 38-yard run that he should have probably been gone if he would have had Isaac Rendo's speed. Now, granted, Jordan Mason ended up with 8 yards a carry. He was 9 carries, 73 yards, 8 yards a carry. None of the running backs except for Kyle Juszczyk had a touchdown. And that is something that 49ers have got to shore up. They can't get any push on the line in the red zone. They just can't. Like there's teams are just not they can't get 2 yards. They couldn't get a yard to get the 2-point conversion. It's just it's rough. But I'll say this too. Patrick Taylor, shout out to Patrick Taylor. He had 3.2 yards a carry, 5 carries, 16 yards, but he didn't look bad either. And it just goes to show in this Shanny system, if he just runs the ball, it can give your quarterback a break. It gives the offense some continuity. It gives the offense some momentum, just wearing down the other defense. It keeps your defense on the sideline so that they can stay fresh. There's just so many good things come out of the run game. And it was great to see Shanny go back to that. Brock Purdy only had to throw the ball 28 times today. But the team, they look good. They look good. Deebo Samuel made a tremendous catch on a bad Purdy throw early on in the game. But he had 3 catches, 102 yards. He had a touchdown. George Kittle had 2 touchdowns, 5 receptions, 58 yards off of 6 targets. Brandon Ayuk had a couple of catches off of 4 targets, 37 yards. Jawan Jennings kind of struggled through this game a little bit. He had 3 catches, 27 yards, but he dropped one, and it just seemed like he wasn't really healthy. He didn't look like he was, that he was in good shape. So I'll be on the lookout for him on the watching the injury report on him because he looked to be grimacing a lot. But Jordan Mason, Kyle Juszczyk, and Patrick Taylor all had catches. Kyle Juszczyk had 3 catches for 10 yards. And a stupid play, like there was a target that he didn't make that Kyle, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was doing. 3rd and long in the red zone. and we run a screen to Kyle Juszczyk. But Tatum Bethune played in the game. There was a fumble, and he had a recovery. I'm trying to remember when that was. But there was only 1 sack in the game. Sam Okuwanu, like Sam Okuwanu, ended up getting a sack at the end of the game. There, Fred Warner played with his hair on fire all game as usual. Diamador Lenore looked good in the secondary. I'll say this: the defense did their thing. The defensive line looked really good closing down the pocket, keeping Gino in the pocket, closing the gaps around him. Every time it looked like Gino was going to have a way out of the pocket, somebody ended up showing up and playing contain on that and kept him in the pocket. So it was a really good showing by the defense, and hopefully, I know that the Seahawks scored 24 points, but like, yeah, if you were watching the game, the defense played really well, and when they were down men. So it was really good game by them. Roberto in the building, appreciate you coming through, fam. Faithful always. Like it was getting rough there for a minute, but now the 49ers got to carry this momentum into the next game. They got to go to, I believe they go to. I believe they go to Kansas City. Do they go to Kansas City, or are they coming to us? Oh no, they come to like us. So they got the Chiefs next at home, but they get 10 days of rest, which this team really needs it really bad. We got to keep an eye on this on the injury report, because I have a feeling there's going to be more injuries than not. And if I have time, I'm going to get you the Shanny interview. I'm probably not going to have time for the players, but because it is almost 11 o'clock here in Houston, and yeah, I've got work early in the morning. So we have. Let me see if they've got that up yet. Oh, they do. Hold on, let me get it. Let's get that, because I'm sure that we can hear about some of the injuries, and all right.
An ankle, never returned. Aaron Banks cramps, and Matt Wright had a shoulder. Go ahead.
Any X-rays on Mustafa?
No, they believe it was a low. Yeah.
Is there a point there when you don't have Mason, obviously you don't have Christian, all the other guys we could list, and you're going, how are we band-aiding this together, or you just think, I got the guys, we're going to win this thing anyway?
I mean, with Debo also, towards the end, on the last possession, what's his name? Trying to blank. Taylor, he got hurt, so I was afraid that we were down to our last one with Isaac, especially when he got that long run. It was smart of him, giving that touchdown to Juice. But I did get worried right then. Before that, though, we had enough guys, especially with Debo being able to help out and do all that stuff, too, so we were all right.
Was it Mason? He went back in. Did he aggravate something?
Yeah, he thought he was going to be all right. He went back in, and it just hurt him too much, so he went out, I think. I think that was the first play. And then he was out just in case of emergency.
The fact that he could have come in an emergency, does that suggest it's not serious?
I don't know. You never know. I mean, adrenaline on these days. I mean, during games is a little bit different. We'll find out more tomorrow when that's down and get the X-rays and stuff.
What was going through your mind when you guys had the 20-point lead, give up the kickoff, and then next thing you know, they have the ball with a chance to take the lead?
I'm not going to go to what's happened on our last two losses. It's just staying locked in, not trying to get any negative feelings, and just trying to do it one play at a time. You try to keep our team that way, but it's not like I talked to a bunch of people right then. So just calling plays and stuff, you don't try to think that way. Our goal is to be locked in the entire game, regardless of what the score was, and I thought the guys played like that.
Considering how, the moment and how much you needed it, how that throw from Purdy to Kittle, first touchdown, the throw to catch, how clutch was that?
Which one? There was two of them. The first one was awesome. That was a long third down. We're obviously struggling in the red zone to make a big play like that. I think it was 3rd and goal from, I want to say, the 10. But that was huge. It was a dime right in the corner. It was a hell of a route and catch by George. And then I thought the second one was just as impressive. We called a lookie to BA. They played a coverage where 2 people were on him, and he went across the board and had a hell of a throw to George.
When we asked Brock about some of the red zone stuff, he said maybe he's got to be more decisive, something like that. Pull the trigger. Did you have that conversation with him, and do you think he did that more tonight?
Yeah, I think the hard thing with the red zone is there's not one theme. There's a few plays, and Brock's saying that because there's a few plays he could have been more decisive on and had. But that's not the whole red zone struggles. But when you struggle running the ball, didn't have a lot of great looks, and then you miss a few that we could have scored on. And Brock's can always own up to that stuff, but that wasn't really the theme. He was real decisive today, made 2 big-time throws there on 3rd down, and was a step in the right direction at least.
The challenge that you made, that you didn't win there, what were you told in terms of what angle they saw, whoever, let you know, and then what was the explanation that they didn't?
It was awesome by Hamp. Because he said he could tell by how the guy's hand moved that the ball hit him. And
hold on right there. Okay, we got to mention a couple of things that Channy just said. So, first off, the call about the ball hitting the player and Conley being pushed into him, and when they challenged, the explanation that we got on TV was that they didn't have a good enough version of the video. All they had was the live feed from the TV. Well, the live feed from the TV showed the guy's finger moving. Okay? And I don't buy that at all. I don't buy it at all. And it was near a screw job session for the 49ers. That was inexcusable by the referees, in my opinion. That was an obvious huge play of the game, and for them to get that one wrong, and then they got the other one wrong earlier in the game, as far as they had called the PI on it was one of their corners, and then they pulled up the flag. It seemed like because the player was explaining himself, it doesn't matter. The guy had his hands all over the receiver. And for sure it was more than 5 yards. So the referee crew, for the most part, the 49ers didn't have a lot of penalties in this game, which was a huge reason of why they won, I feel. But these referees just need to be ashamed of themselves. And to be honest, I feel like they should have been fined. I thought that was an egregious error on them. That could have meant the game. For real. So anyway, I don't like to cry over spilled milk, but that could have meant that, and it ended up being inconsequential, but still, that is an egregious error on their part. And I'm sure that we're going to get some apology from the league, tomorrow or the next day, talking about, yes, they should have, confirming, yes, they should have called, blah, 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 blah. That doesn't help in the moment. Just don't say anything. Get better. And then the other part that Shanny was talking about, the Jordan Mason injury, and I don't know how I didn't talk about the Jordan Mason injury earlier. I knew right away it was a shoulder. And It was just the way he landed. I was like, oh my God. And when he didn't get up, I was just thinking separated shoulder. And I'm hoping that it was a separated shoulder. Because if it was anything other, if it's a torn anything, that means that we're down to Patrick Taylor and Isaac Orendo for the foreseeable future. And they're just going to have to bring some other guys off the street. But and obviously the 49ers proved that they can get production. I mean, they can get production out of the run game. But Jordan, it would be a shame because Jordan Mason has played so well this season for him for an injury like that seemed like nothing, and now that's going to end end the run that he was having. So hopefully, let's prayers up for Jordan Mason. Hopefully, he gets through this. And Melissa in the house, appreciate you coming through, fam. Like, yeah, all the rookies. All the rookies. The rookies deserve game ball. Everybody gets a game ball for the rookies. But yeah, we're all pulling for Jordan Mason, and yeah, we want him. We want him ready for the Chiefs because we're gonna need it. All right, I'll let him finish.
And then that's all he saw. But he couldn't 100% see the ball. But he said you could tell how the hand moved. And with it being Thursday night football, I thought for sure they'd have a bunch of camera angles. So once he believed that it happened, we threw it thinking we'd get some better angles. And then they just told me that he didn't. And then about 2 minutes later, I heard all the guys in the box freaking out saying they saw another angle and it wasn't fumble. So
the official told you that they didn't have the
yeah, they only know what they see. So they didn't see, I think, what everyone else saw on TV. Hamp. Yeah.
With all the,
Brian Hampton.
with all the offensive stuff, I mean, Renardo Green's interception there came at a really good time. So just how did he make that play, and just what did you see of it?
That was huge. I mean, I just saw it looked like they sailed it a little bit over DK or maybe underthrew it, and he cut in front of him. It was a hell of a play by him. Hell of a job by Malik, too, getting in the pick. I thought a rookie stepped up big time today, all of them. But Renardo was huge coming in for Mooney. You know, Mooney was a game-time decision. Tried to get him going. He tried to go, but the workout didn't go well before the game, and Renardo and the whole defense stepped it up.
Your team has faced some of these games before, early in the season when things aren't going right, has won a lot of them. Is that something you communicate to them, or do you feel it in a week like this where this team just has the feeling that it's going to be able to pull a game like this out?
No,
For
I
real?
mean, you know that we're sick about those 2 losses that we had, and we know, I talk about some losses are harder than others, and when you feel like you had those won, especially division games, that's made us sick about it. And we've gone on a stretch here the last 2 years where we've won a lot of games in a row, and a lot of the fourth quarters and some of those win streaks these last 2 years haven't been that tight. Guys have been able to relax a little bit and stuff, and we've been talking about how these 2 losses are a reminder on how the NFL works. And I think we got a little spoiled in that way of just human nature of sometimes feeling too relaxed, and you can never feel too relaxed. I thought we played real well in the second half, but that doesn't mean it's easy to win. And it's that's how it works. We played well. They played well. They came back and made some plays, which made it tighter, and I was glad that our guys could fight through that, realize that games are really never over where you can just sit and chill in the fourth quarter. You got to go beginning to the end, and we got that experience today.
What did you see from Orlando? Did you feel like he was on the verge of breaking a big one?
I mean, you always feel like guys are close. I mean, we were running the ball pretty well all day. When they're going to really commit to stopping the run and try to get in those 8-man fronts, we got a good bounce read where we got outside, and usually when there's not 2 safeties there, which I don't think there were, you break them, and he's got the speed to do it. Said he's an eyelash slower than Raheem, and they had a pretty fast guy chasing him, but he said he wanted to give that to Juice, so it ended up working out well and got to run more time off the clock.
Want to see him slide there at the end?
Hell no, we want him to score, and I don't think he slid. That's what he's claiming. I think 21's a fast player, and he got him a little bit there at the end, I think. I'll see it. You guys saw it. But it ended up working out better for us.
Given how well Mooney has matched up with DK, was there some
He slid. For sure, he slid.
No, not really. I mean, it's he wouldn't have done that anyways tonight, just being on an injury, and I think Demo's one of the best corners in the league. I love Demo, and we got a young rookie in Renardo stepping up. I think Ike's done a hell of a job, and I think we got a lot of players in our secondary.
How close was it with Travarius? I mean, we saw him.
It was close enough to where it was a game time decision. He went and worked out, and it was close, but couldn't go.
Another special teams blunder, I guess you would say. What can you do about that now? There's like one a game now. How do you go in there? Do you get involved? What can happen now?
I mean, I thought the special teams made some plays today. They got a
Oh,
they got a
don't do
fumble
that.
for us, a huge recovery, which forget whether that led to a field goal or touchdown. Last week they scored a touchdown with a block kick, returned for a touchdown. I thought we didn't have a great kickoff, and from what I saw live, we had an unblocked guy who missed a tackle, and then they hit the lane. So we got to get better at tackling. We'd love to get a better kickoff and stuff, and we got to keep challenging ourselves as coaches, our players, everybody. Especially when you got some guys down on defense, it does. You guys can see that, and it's even worse on special teams when that happens. But we got to do better. But I was still happy they made some plays today too.
Are you challenging the kicker to make a tackle?
The hell no, I don't. I don't know how I feel about that anymore. When they break through and they're the only line left, I would never be the coach that says just let them score. But dang, that's 2 weeks in a row, and I just got his name last night, and Matt was unbelievable today. He was 3 for 3 on field goals, and that was huge for him to stop him. I mean, it looked like they could have scored if he wasn't there, so I just hope he's all right.
You got his name last night, you learned who he was last night?
I mean, the first time I've seen him, yeah. But yeah, you guys, I mean, I don't waste thoughts on stuff that I don't need to know. Like,
You wanted him to kick it into the end zone.
same with all of your injury questions. I really don't learn stuff I don't need to know.
That
So
wasn't a strategy to have him kick it right at the goal line. You wanted it to be further than that.
yeah, you'd like that, and it was something that he was struggling with a little bit. So when that happens, you try to get more air on it, so it gives our guys time to get down there. But it didn't work.
All right, guys, appreciate it.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right. So, yeah. Once again, special teams. Yeah. Did they make a couple of stops? Okay. They're supposed to. Our special teams, we have good play. Now, granted, our special team, it's got to be thin at this point. I mean, our whole team is thin and not deep, but like the 49ers gave up the second return for a touchdown in the entire NFL for the season. The second one. That means only one of the team gave up a return for a touchdown in the league. The 49ers special teams is just terrible. And I don't know how Schneider keeps his job. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know how the 49ers are going to get through this whole season playing like that on special teams. It just can't happen. And at least Kyle said that something's got to change. I mean, at least he said that, and he took a little bit of accountability. But I mean, yeah, it's gotten ridiculous. It's gotten completely ridiculous. Let's see if there's any more. Let me see if there's any more. If there's any players yet. Oh, we got Debo. Here, I'll give you guys Debo.
Can you take us through the touchdown? What did you see there with the safety coming over?
I really wasn't even looking at the safety. At the beginning, I kind of had to fake block the outside linebacker, and he fell off. And then I see the ball in the air, and once the ball in the air, we always talk to attack it, and then whatever happened, that's it. It's off to the races.
Debo, just down 2 games in the division, can you describe the must-win situation, or if it was a must-win situation?
It was definitely a must-win, but kind of look at must-wins a little different. Must-wins are like if you lose, you're done. So at the end of the day, we treat it as a must-win for sure to get back on track. And, we got this mini bye and then get back to work on Monday, Tuesday, whichever day Cal want to have a bonus practice.
But it's not the
first time you guys have had your backs against the wall a little bit and come up with a big win. What is it about this team that allows you guys to, in these kind of moments, meet the moment?
Really like not being ourselves, like not turning the ball over. Really, that's
Which
the main
they
thing.
didn't.
Defense getting turnovers. We had 2 today, 2 picks, and 2 rookies stepped up on defense and made plays for us.
Well, what it's like to see that? I mean, not only the 2 guys on defense, but the rookie running back.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't know why he didn't score. I would have scored. He said he was looking at the sideline and people was telling him to go down for what I don't know. Why he looking at the sideline running anyway. But, man, that's just huge. It's kind of like next man up mentality. You know, we always want Mooney out there, but Ronaldo went out there and took advantage of the opportunity he had.
What did you see from just George's first touchdown when he's able to get the full feet down?
That was a dot for sure from Brock. And the concentration by George with a guy kind of raking at it and getting his feet in bounds.
You guys had 483 yards total offense. Did this feel more like your guys' kind of game?
We feel like every game is our game. If we don't turn the ball over, like if we don't beat ourselves on, you know, it's kind of hard to give a game away, you know. So I feel like we don't turn the ball over and manage the clock like we normally do and run the ball well and hit passes here and there. I feel like we're pretty good.
Debo, Mike McDonald, Seahawks head coach, was in charge of that Ravens defense on Christmas Day where you guys a really rough time. How much?
Say it again?
Mike McDonald, Seahawks head coach, was running the Ravens defense, gave you guys a real hard time on Christmas Day last year. How much does it mean for Brock and for all of you guys to come in here and just kind of put that to rest?
Kind of, I didn't even know that. I don't know that we was thinking about that. Either we was just coming in and knew we had a game today and it was a must win and we went out there and got the dub.
How do you spend the long weekend before getting ready for the
Oh, we just cool. Like we vibe and got to get off your feet a little bit and rest.
Great.
All right. It's Debo. Let me see if there is. Let me see if there's anybody else. Oh, we got Bosa. Let's.
You said during the week that you're treating this as a must-win. Was there a different sense of urgency going into this one?
I think there was, yeah. We obviously want to bring a high sense of urgency every game, but when your backs are against the wall, it kind of brings it out of you. And I'm just glad when the momentum swung there, we stuck with it, and that was kind of the message all week. We got the win.
This isn't the first time you've been in this kind of situation with your backs against the wall. What is it about this kind of core group of guys that allows you to meet the moment in games like this?
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely do better all around. We kind of let teams back in it, but we've been through so many situations and so many different games that we're experienced, and that helps in this league.
When you give up, not you, but the special teams gives a touchdown, and then they get the ball back and they score again. It's only one score game. Is it a conversation you're having on the sidelines? What's kind of the
We just kind of talked about good or bad, keep that same even keel, next play mentality, and it was crucial to do that there.
The Bernardo Green interception there came at a pretty good time too. Were you on the field for that one or what?
I was. Yeah. Kind of one of my worst rushes of the day, so thankfully he held it a little bit and threw it to him, but I'm happy for him. He's a Florida kid, so I always pull for them. And he's very, very talented, and we got to see it tonight.
Shannon said back in the spring we had a sense that the rookie class was going to be pretty good. Did you get that sense at any point, during the off-season summer?
For sure, yeah. Kind of right away in the preseason, they were popping. Obviously, it's a different deal when you're playing in real games, and they showed up tonight.
How do you feel about just how pressure and the pass rush and the coverage tied together tonight?
I think our back end probably had one of their best games, and we needed it.
Definitely did.
And yeah, I mean, we rushed, we got pressure. Obviously, we want to get them down, and we had some opportunities there. But we got the win.
You had some big wins in this stadium over the years, Nick. I mean, how can you guys parlay this into getting on a roll? Obviously, it starts next game against Kansas City.
Yeah, it's huge. obviously this was a big one to get, and now we have a little time to get some guys healthy. And then, yeah, I mean, we have a long road ahead, and it starts with the team that we haven't beat yet since I've been here. So definitely trying to get the monkey off our back with that one.
You find out before the game that Mooney isn't going, JP, you lose, basically in the first half. You got rookies and other guys, backups out there touching the ball and playing key roles. At some point, are you thinking, how are we doing this?
No, I mean, I think anybody with a uniform on could play well, and Thursday night games are tough. There's definitely your legs feel it, especially when it's a battle like that, and there's so many people going in and out that I can't even keep track, but I didn't know JP got hurt, but I saw him rotating all the running backs, so I'm proud of the guys.
Jake, how much of a factor has Malik Collins been in your defensive line this year?
It's been huge. He's a great veteran leader, and obviously with Grave down, having him has been a massive thing for us. And he could rush. He plays the run really well, so it's been good.
Nick, Next Gen had you 14 quarterback pressures. Did it feel that way?
Yeah, it felt that way. It's a finishing business, especially when you're me and you're expected to finish. There was a couple close ones there where it was almost ball out, game over, and I just got to keep going. It's a long year, and just look at the tape and try and finish those, because that's what players like me need to do. Yeah, I mean, it's good to hit the quarterback, obviously, but you want to get there. You want to finish for your team.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
All right. And everybody wants to hear from the Silverback. Let's go.
And you guys have been in this position before in previous years.
Look at that
things aren't
beanie.
Going great early in the season, and you get to a spot and you just figure out how to win it. Did you feel
Bejeweled
that?
the
Did you talk
beanie.
about that this week? Did you sense
Nah. I mean, it's still early. It's only week 6, so we can still right this ship without having to string off 9 straight wins. So today was important. It was every bit of a must win without technically being a must win.
Who would like to see the
Thank you.
running back there at the end after the Seahawks score? They take off 76 yards and dive.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been waiting to see IG kind of turn it loose. We know he's a blazer. Reminds us a lot of Raheem Mostert. So I think Bobby T said he's an eyelash slower, but I don't know. The kid can run, so he said he was going down on purpose. So we'll give him that.
when you touchdown, a kickoff return for a touchdown, they score again? What was, in your mind, kind of the conversation of the team, given the losses you've had recently?
Well, each game is different, and we just had so much success on the offensive side of the ball. It's like no matter how loud they got, we never just lost confidence. We knew that, we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot with dumb penalties, or, we can operate in the noise like we had been doing. We knew that we would, draw the ball down there and get in scoring position.
You scored in the red zone.
And we scored in the red zone. It's a big thing. Obviously we still kicked a few field goals. Would like to see those get into the box, but yeah, that's one of the things that we're working on.
What do you see just from the offensive line as a whole? Today, average 6.9 yards a carry and no sacks. How do you feel like that group is coming together?
I think we're gelling pretty good.
Oh my God, not.
We're pretty much the same group outside of Pooney, but Pooney plays like he's been here a few years, so we got lucky with that. But we're gelling. We just gotta, obviously, as long as we can keep Brock upright, he's going to carve the defense up. As long as we can, get the running backs to the line of scrimmage clean, they're gonna fall forward. They're gonna get yards. So, we're not where we want to be, but we are on a good track.
Trent, you mentioned Cooney, the guy never played right guard in college, and he comes in with this new said a veteran. How amazing has that been to see?
That's amazing. I didn't know he didn't play right guard in college, so I just learned something. Yeah, which is crazy because, I mean, he literally has the makings of a Pro Bowl, all-pro player at that position. So, but he's, like I said, he's a godsend, man. He's a, really, really good kid, really, really professional. He gained his teammates' respect just by the way he carried himself.
What was your view on Brock's 3 touchdown passes? You know, he had the one to Debo, then 2 to Kittle. So from your point of view, are you engaged? Are you seeing the ball in the air?
Yeah, I'm engaged. Yeah. I think I seen Debo's, because the DN I was supposed to be blocking was chasing him in coverage, so I had a pretty good vantage point on that. I was kind of nervous because I know 53 can run, but obviously Debo got the full stride and it was game over. So, but yeah, Brock, as long as we keep him upright, as long as we keep the pocket clean, I mean, he's going to make the right decisions. He's going to put us in good position. So, we're not surprised by that.
You guys get the weekend off, and then the Chiefs come to town. What does that game mean?
It's a game. It's another game. I mean, it's not like we can get payback for losing in the Super Bowl. That ship has sailed. So it's another game. We got to come out and try to play complimentary football. We got to, obviously, we know what type of team that is. One of the best teams in the league. All-star quarterback. Great coach. So it's going to be a tough game regardless. So, we're going to take these 3 days off and regroup and come try to put a complete game together. All right. Appreciate y'all.
All right. I think they're going to have Purdy, but let's see if I can get that. Let's see if I can get that one. Oh, yes. Yeah, I'll let you guys listen to Purdy's.
Brock, you said during the week that you saw a lot of Seattle's defense, what you saw from Baltimore last year with Mike McDonald, but you obviously performed a lot better this time out. Were there things you saw in this game you kind of thought, okay, I see this and now I know how to navigate it?
I mean, sort of. I think just going into the game, it was, if they run this is my answer, and simple as that. I just try to keep it simple and obviously check the ball down when I needed to and hit my number 1 or number 2 in my progression as efficiently as I could, and I just kept it simple. Last year in that game, I feel like I just got out of rhythm and I was trying to force stuff, and I just wasn't playing in the right mindset of being aggressive, being smart, and taking what the defense gave me. So I learned my lesson in that game, and then coming into this game, obviously new personnel. It's the Seahawks, not the Ravens, and so for me it was all right. Similar scheme, yes, but this is what we're trying to attack, and how can I be efficient as best as I can. So that was my mindset.
You mentioned kind of the need to find your identity as a team, and you have a game like this that you need to win, and then you have some injuries, and you have unseen replays, and all these things kind of going against you. What kind of step towards finding your identity do you think you took tonight?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's always going to be stuff that you can clean up, and for us, our standard is high here, and so I think a lot of us would go to, all right, like we could have done this or that and be better here, but I think at the end of the day, man, it's a team sport, and so to go 4 quarters with all these different kinds of emotions and parts of the game, and to be able to rally together and defense get a turnover and then us score a touchdown at the end, and it's just that's team football, man, and that's the sport that we play. So I feel like we did take a step in the right direction for sure, and we're always going to have stuff that we're going to be hard on ourselves and need to grow and get better at, but I really do think that we all as a team came together and found a way today really well. So.
Please take us through the touchdown passes to Kittle and just your trust value with him.
Yeah, I mean, the first one you talking about, or both? The first one, man, yeah, just obviously a third down play, but for us, I saw just him have leverage on the outside, and I just needed to give him some space. He did a great job of breaking down and being at the right depth and the landmark, and he's really good at that. And so for me, it's just trusting and laying it on the sideline, knowing that my guy can go get it. And then the fact that he kept his 2 feet in was crazy. So awesome job on that. And then the second one, same thing. Though it was pretty tight coverage. We had a safety coming down on him, and then he crossed face, tight window. And it comes down to that component of trust, man. That's both of them. Both touchdowns were just a trust factor. So something that we've continued to grow at, throughout the offseason and throughout the games that we've played together. And then tonight it showed really well. So very proud of him.
Did this feel like how it should feel? Like, did you kind of feel like this was a get right kind of game for the offense?
I mean, yeah, every opportunity we step out in the field, man, we want to do that. We want to get better and prove to ourselves that, we're going to play at the standard that we need to play at and that we're capable of playing at. And so tonight was another opportunity. It was a Thursday night game and a great team in the Seahawks, great environment. And so for us to come out and just do our job, do it well, and be efficient, I thought for all of us it was, like I said, the right step in the right direction. And so there's stuff that we can still get better at, but more than anything, man, I'm proud of just how we all stuck together, man, as a unit. And when guys got banged up or went down, the next guy came in and did their job really well. So that's a good sign for all of us, and we just got to continue to walk this road together.
Especially running backs.
The performance they had tonight, speaking of stepping up.
Yeah, it was awesome just seeing Renardo get his interception, Malik on the defensive side, man, that always fires us up on the offense. And then obviously Isaac getting in at the end and pulling away. It was sort of like a little throwback memory of like when Jordan Mason got in a couple years ago and he had his run at the end. And but for those guys to step in, man, it's the NFL. It's, this ain't college, and it's it's the real deal. You're playing against the best of the best. And so for those guys to show up on Thursday night, a primetime game like that, it means a lot to all of us as a team and them showing that. So we all got their backs, and we're going to continue to grow together. Thanks, guys.
All right. So what we learned today, kids, is that the team feels like they're making progress. That's the common theme, is that they've got to take it one game at a time. They've still got a lot of work to do. They just made back to 500. Debo, what did he say? Like Debo was a little standoffish with the body language. And he's been like that lately with the media, but I thought that was kind of weird. And but Debo didn't have Debo had a good game. I would say Debo had a good game. He was obviously, he had a touchdown. He made the one huge play. But yeah, he had a pretty decent game. And then but overall for the season, like a lot of people said that he was going to be the one, like it was going to be a breakout. It was going to be 2021 all over again. And I knew that couldn't be because teams have figured out the whole wide back stuff. They're not afraid of him as far as that goes. And this season, so far as we've seen it, he had been going down. He had been going down after one hit. Like he wasn't breaking tackles like he had been in the past. He's still doing the same old Debo stuff because people got fooled by his workout videos again for the third season in a row. And into thinking that he's going to do this, that, and the third, and when the reality is he's still the same old Debo. Kind of goes halfway on some routes, and he goes and he doesn't always block with effort when he's not getting the ball. So Debo's Debo, but I'd rather have him than not have him. And he made a huge play with the touchdown. That's the Debo that we need on the regular basis. And I think Kyle just depends on him to break one every game. It seems like every game. But speaking on what Trent Williams was saying, he's talking about Pooney and Pooney, it being huge for Pooney to be on that side and solidifying that spot. Brendel and Aaron Banks have played terrible. They played terrible. Wishy-washy at best. And I don't know if Brendel is favoring that knee because he had knee issues prior to the season, in the offseason. I don't know if that's still bothering him. But then you've also got Aaron Banks. He hasn't looked right all season. And for him to say, "Oh yeah, we're building some chemistry," no, you're not. No, you're not. Brock is still running for his life. This was the first game. This was the first game where they ran the ball consistently, and they actually were able to get something going, and it was because the offensive line was blocking it up. In the games prior to that, they were not opening holes up for the running back. And in this game, it wasn't the whole game. It was just they were opening them up more than they had been in the past. And they did a beautiful job of blocking for the Garendo run. They did a beautiful job of blocking for the big long, the long JP Mason run, but they've still got long way to go. And I want to caution fans before not into thinking, okay, we got the win. We're happy we got the win. Now you're moving on to KC, not to KC, but they've got to come to the 49ers. But the reality is they haven't beaten them in what over it was before Kyle's been there. So there is every opportunity there for them to go back under 500 again after this game. This team needs to build some consistency. If they need to, the first half, they still look terrible in the red zone. There was still confusion. There was still, they just weren't executing. And then on top of it, it was still struggling with the play calling. So they've still got stuff to work on, in my mind. Not only that, the only thing that showed me consistent throughout this game showed improvement was the defense. Big up to Nick Sorensen. And even then there was a couple of times where I felt like I don't know if he knew what he was calling. And they kind of just let him down the field a couple of times. But at the same time, they looked miles above where they were in the last game. So, but the offense looked the same. It looked the same to me in the first half. So we're still trying to build consistency. And I can't wait to see with 10 days of rest, can they come out on fire, take it to Kansas City? Like Kansas City has not been blowing teams out. They're undefeated, yes, but at the same time, they haven't been blowing teams out. So there is every opportunity for the 49ers to go in there and steal one. And that's what I'm hoping happens, just to get the boogeyman off their back. But yeah, and then Brock is Brock. Brock is going to take accountability for everything that he does. The couple of throws that he missed, he's going to take accountability for that. And that's why we love him so much. I think Brock had a much better game than he had last game. I thought that Brock has played really well this season. It's not showing up in the stat sheet always, but he's doing the little things to get them first downs, continued drives, and making plays. He's doing what he can. I think Kyle's letting him down some with the play calling. I think that his offensive line is letting him down. And at a certain point, he has done a tremendous job with keeping away from getting blasted. Because there's been a couple of times where I thought he was going to get killed. But yeah, Brock has been great. So I think that we have, and the stats aren't going to show it again because he went 18 of 28, which isn't a terrible percentage, but it's not last year. Last year, the percentage was really high. And the stats were out of control. And we all said last year, it's probably not going to happen again. And it's not going to mean he's not better. I think he's actually a better quarterback now. So I'm looking forward to it. But I appreciate everybody coming out. I know it's late, at least for us people on the East Coast. But I appreciate everybody coming out. I'm going to get out of here. But yeah, 49ers get the win. And, did I not? 49ers get the win, 36-24 over the Seahawks. We are stoked. Make sure you give the video a like. Make sure that you give it a subscribe. Make sure that you hit the bell so you get the notifications for when I go live. And we were on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We were on Twitch. And my next show, I'm definitely going to be on Instagram. I finally figured it out. I didn't have time to get on today, but that's going to happen, I promise. But I don't care where you get it. And you can get if you don't like looking at my face, you can get the audio version wherever you get your audio podcast. So there is no excuse. I don't care where you get it, just get it. And then make sure, just can you do me a solid and tell a friend to tell a friend so we can be friends every day, every week. Let's get this thing cracking. And but yeah, I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Niners get the win that they needed. Like, we needed it. Let's go. Let's go. And let's go. Let's have the Chiefs come into the 49er house, and hopefully all the fans there show them the hospitality that they deserve when they come in here. Hopefully the 49ers go in there and handle business. And but I will see you guys again on, I probably won't see you till Tuesday when with Beto and Brandon. Make sure you check out those guys. Make sure that you give them a follow. Make sure that you subscribe to all of our channels. But I'll be there for Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. And so we'll be with that. And then I'll have my regular show on Thursday. So I will see you guys on Tuesday. And you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy your Hey, one more thing before I get off. Pray for everybody. Pray for not just the people in Florida. I think that, and my wife mentioned this today, it's not just people in Florida. We got people in North Carolina. We got people in Tennessee that got hit by Helene. Like we've got people like that whole eastern seaboard needs to be prayed for. They all need prayers, and we've just got to we got to give what we can. And so I need everybody to send prayer. Whoever you pray to, however you send your love, like send these people some love, because that's what they need. Like a lot of these people lost their entire lives. So there's a lot of people dead. There's a lot of people that just lost everything. So make sure those people stay in your thoughts and prayers. So, but I'm gonna get out of here. You guys have a good night, and yeah, as always, go Niners.